I define poverty as not being able to sustain your own life. Human beings that are poverty-stricken face much deprivation, deprived of freedom, rights, necessary for human living. Powerless to help their situation, shackled is the feeling that is endured upon them. Confined to a reality of self-detriment because of a war that barred Rwanda forever. Two types of people were separated, Hutus and Tutsis, neighbors and colleagues. Villages and communities ravaged by a genocide started for countrywide power. For what? Being able to say your people are better? Standing on top of a million fallen bodies and saying your side won? These bodies belong to family, friends, and people you even knew. Never an explanation for Rwandan genocide in 1994. Only the renewal of a country. Slums forming, barely standing churches taking in the homeless. This was truly the start of poverty. A war that left a country clueless with what the next step really was. One day, a man changed that. 15-year-old Evode survived the war but had lost his two parents. He was living on the streets and became a fugitive, stealing meager amounts of food and water every day just to stay alive, not knowing if he would wake up the next day alive because he was sick to his stomach with very little food or water. One day he was shown the light. A pastor from a local church took him in and showed him life through the eyes of God. One day he met Becky, a peacekeeper from the UK. She saw the impact he had on the children under the bridge. Together, they used all of their life savings to rent a 5-bedroom house. Here, Evode took in 35 street boys that came and listened to him, and he raised them. Evode put aside his own poverty to care for these kids who were in the same exact situation. He was no longer deprived, powerless, or shackled. Evode became a human once again. He became a charitable person that fulfilled the lives of 35 kids. Charitable is how I felt when I had the opportunity to help Evode's mission. In 2012, I visited Evode at the orphanage, a visit that would change the rest of my life. My family and I traveled to Rwanda with 8 duffel bags full of clothes. Donating those bags to 35 needy kids made me feel fulfillment. The joyous kids lit up the room. Obtaining a pair of jeans or worn-out shoes was like winning the lottery to them. Spending a day with these kids that were able to live a free life just because of Evode. Playing soccer and board games shows how simple and carefree these kids' lives really were. Not plagued with electronics or crime-filled neighborhoods, but a rural community created by a man that had escaped his own poverty, that was no longer deprived of resources or food because he had found a way through God. A man that was no longer shackled by doubt and fear of going out and making a difference, for he had risen above his own country's past. Evode was no longer in a state of poverty. He took his situation and never looked back. A humanitarian is a person who makes other lives better. A person may come out of poverty as a humanitarian as Evode once did. These people become role models for other people and how we should come back from adversity. Coming back from adversity doesn't look like self-pity or getting down because of your situation. Adversity is just another obstacle that you must cross in the path of life. Turning your life around the way he did is no easy task. It requires determination, willing to put your life on the line for freedom and a worth life living.